audio is live. We will get this down eventually. This will be a cool thing to have worked out, though, so we can share some of the really cool games that you've got. It would have to be a series, but that Etherfields game would be an amazing stream.
Oh, that would be.
But that's a long-running game.
Sick.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
It's just cool that you build a story as you go through it, though.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Did you put the meat in the fridge?
Yeah, it's in the fridge. Do you need it out?
Oh, I was just gonna show what it is. Or we can do that, I guess, when we bring it out.
Whatever you want to do.
So let's set out who's going to play what character.
Okay.
And then we can get all the miscellaneous out of the way that we're not going to be using. So we can figure out what intruder we're going to use, the characters we're going to play as, set up all the rest of that kind of thing.
Everybody needs one of these, right?
Yes, everybody's going to need one of these.
Okay. I'll sit over here, because I think I'm still out of the camera shot. I just don't want to sit around that table because I know I'm going to bump it and it's going to make the camera wobble.
It's all movie.
So
They can sit on that far end over there. That should be fine. I think that should be okay. Or I can sit over here. Actually, no, here's going to be just fine.
in fact, we can use the better chairs. The green one's already over there. I will probably use this.
I mean, we could probably be around here.
Yeah. No, I think if I sit here, it should be okay.
The other thing that we can do is, it's going to be a little bumpy, but I can lift this up and we can move the table so that the edge of it's right here and somebody can sit right here.
My concern, I didn't want anybody using this table for anything because of how wobbly it is.
I know.
Okay.
Move the table so that the edge
we
is
can use this
here,
corner.
so that somebody can sit here and use this corner.
Okay. Do we want to relocate everything or just have somebody sit here? Because we have the level up.
Yeah, and they can place their pieces.
I know. I'm just thinking for reach because you can't reach.
Yeah, Eric, it's kind of
Okay.
time.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's shuffle them. Okay. So you'll need to watch the camera feed. We're gonna probably come to about here.
We should have rolled.
We have them labeled. I should have done that.
No, that can stay there. I was just going to pick the camera up and take this table here and just shift it this way and set the camera back down because it'll allow someone just sit right here. And
Okay. I thought you wanted to move everything down so somebody could sit here, like I asked.
Oh, somebody still can. Sit
Well,
there.
that's what I was saying with the level up.
Right, but I just
We just want to move this. Got it. So,
right. Or we can turn it long ways, which is what I thought we were going to do,
Okay.
and
we
people
can-
can sit on either side.
People have space here because they're going to be able to put their components here below. So it's not going to. We won't have to move.
If you want to hold this, because the one thing I don't want to do is drop the camera.
Right, exactly. So it's going to get bumpy for whoever's watching really quick.
Anybody watching, lo siento. Still going on something.
Oh, it's just the sound boxes that are in the way.
So hang on, let me. That there. Oh, this came out of which leg?
Okay.
Miss this about the table legs that I got. Because they don't have these silly things. Okay. So are we close to where we were?
Yeah, I think.
Let's check our shot. And then this was just...
The delay is still catching up here.
Yeah.
That was just to hopefully prevent some wobbles.
And I think.
So you shuffle it some. Would be odd if we actually just sort of set it right back where it was.
I mean, I really think we kind of did because it's even.
Okay.
That's funny. The only thing.
We're cutting a little of the bottom off.
That should be perfect.
Yeah, awesome. And then somebody can be at the corner there. Perfect.
I mean, this might be something where we're walking around playing it. This shit should have been coiled.
Here, I can move that right now. Because it's all together and it's all labeled now, so. Take a couple of minutes.
These pieces are so pretty. This is going to be amazing.
These games are amazing.
I know.
We should set all the monsters. We should set all the monsters up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because there's only going to be, it's going to be the same,
I mean,
right? There's going to be
while we're
monsters
doing
not gonna
setup and
use.
stuff, we can be, you know.
Oh yeah,
sharing
there's
pieces and stuff.
creatures we're not going to use, but we have a choice of 2 different sets of creatures.
Okay.
We have these that are the Night Stalkers.
Okay.
They're great at ambushing in the dark,
Okay.
hunting people down, things like that. Then there's another.
Are there any that are friendly and just want to sell us cookies?
Yeah, they just want hugs.
Yeah, huge hugs. Huge. Nice, tight, deadly hugs with teeth.
Face hugs with eggs.
Face hugs with eggs. Gross.
And then the other option are the Chithrids,
What's the deal with that?
Oh, the Chithrats.
which is a fungal colony that is growing out of control.
Oh.
So you have the queen, which is that.
Oh.
You have all of her appendages and tendrils that are coming out to trying to destroy you.
Huh.
And then
Let's see if the camera will.
you've got, yeah. So it's basically the fungal growth that's growing out of control in the base. So they're a little more, not so many monsters, but they can start spreading and appearing anywhere.
No, we're not using these at all today, right?
So there's this one. The 10-second delay makes it like hard to show people. But so this is the fungal colony. Ew, that looks so gross. Yuck.
So yeah, it's either those guys, the Chithrids, if I'm saying that correctly,
Right.
and then the Night Stalkers.
All right, and then the Night Stalkers. Let me see one of the Night Stalkers.
That's the queen. Yeah.
Yikes. That's ridiculous. I do love how this camera autofocus is so fast.
It's a nice camera.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, that's just one of the regular adults.
That's a regular adult.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, that's one of the regular adults
Now,
here.
since this is the same rule set as the original Nemesis and everything, right?
Mechanically, it works the same. There's some other.
Are there rules for using the other enemies in this and vice versa?
You can. They did add those features in there, so you can use the previous aliens in this version.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and vice versa. You can use these aliens on the Nemesis, the previous Nemesis game, also.
Which gives extra replayability.
Oh yeah, which is excellent.
both
And I
games.
like the fact that they kind of keep a coherent storyline from this one continues on from the people on the Nemesis or the survivors of the Nemesis are now on this Mars base, and it's just continuing that same saga. So
So you can play it sort of like a campaign,
you kind of could.
as long as somebody doesn't lie about the engines and kill everybody.
Exactly
Oh,
right.
gee.
Come on.
Who would that be? That's
It only needs
never
to happen
happened.
once for you to never live it down.
That's never happened. Right, Eric? That's never
Never
happened.
going to happen. The
Ever.
engines were perfectly fine when I left them.
We'll go
Okay,
over
so
some of
that's
we'll
a
go
good-
over the similarities and the differences between the two.
Okay.
Mechanically speaking, the way you draft cards, the way you play cards, and the way you take your turns are very much the same. But the missions you're going to have, the problems with the base, and how you're going to escape are going to be a little different from on the spaceship Nemesis versus
Okay.
on the the base here. Oh, and they have a new first player token. It's a little raccoon in his spacesuit.
Oh, because I just held up the... Oh, and it didn't focus. Sorry. Oh. Interesting.
And they have new space kitties.
You space kitties.
New space kitties.
What new space kitties?
And variants for the queens also. So you've got one for the Night Stalker kitty and
There's
the
that
Chithrid
one.
kitty.
And there's this little guy. Oh, how cute.
So cute. I'm gonna show these. These are cute.
What are they?
Space kitties.
Those are the alternate space cats for this version of the game. So you have a Night Stalker kitty and you have a Chithrid kitty.
Oh goodness. Oh my gosh, these cats are, that's incredible. That's okay.
So much detail.
I know.
They did such a one. They do such a
Hope the
good
camera
job.
picks it up.
They do such a good job.
I think it is getting it, capturing it.
I gotta get back into painting. As soon as I get into finance more,
Oh, and this is the fungal kitty.
Yeah,
that's what this one is. My gosh.
Yeah, they're very cute.
I can't wait for the new space cats to come out. And this is the raccoon.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah, that's the first player. New first player token. It's a little
Raccoon.
raccoon.
It's cute.
And they had an option for optional queen characters. I need to move this over here. So if you do the Night Stalker, that's an alternate queen.
Oh, that's pretty darn cool.
And then when
the feed is really clear. It's really good.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then these are the alternate sculpts for the queens. For this one's for the plant one, the Chithrids, and then the other one they have an alternate sculpt for the.
Oh wow! All right, so this is another. This is an alternate for the queen.
Yeah, it's called came from a pack called the Kings, but
Okay.
yeah, but it's basically an alternate sculpt for the queen character for it. It's really cool. So.
There's that one.
That one's cool.
And this is an alternate. Woo! For
Yeah,
the
that's an
super
alternate for the Night Stalkers.
looking Night Stalker queen. Okay.
Very pokey.
Wow. Very alien-esque looking.
Yeah.
I mean, it is an alien, but you know what I meant, like the aliens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But mechanically, they've done a really good job as far as making
Oh gosh, the
these main
detail
opponents.
in each one of these segments,
Yeah.
and the wings, even the face. I hope that that's visible.
Yeah, but they did a good job as far as the main
Here's that
aliens in this one are mechanically very different from the Nemesis aliens.
Oh, it
which
shows
is
up
kinda
really
nice.
well.
Good.
Yeah.
So what do you guys want to go up against? Do you want to do the Night Stalkers or do you want to do Alien Fungus?
I mean, we've played the Night Stalkers, so we should try the Alien Fungus.
Okay. The Night Stalkers are different from what we have played. They actually are the other ones, the intruders, you call them. Yeah, those are actually, they're just called intruders, and those look like the old school Alien from Alien movie.
Okay, so
These guys are mechanically different. They work very different from the other ones.
Okay.
So it would be a new experience, whichever one we did choose.
Well, then maybe. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe we flip a coin.
Yeah.
I don't have a D2 anywhere.
What do we got here?
All right. Question mark is fungus because it's brown, and then this will be the pokey ones, whatever they're called,
Like Stalkers.
right? And it's gonna like fly everywhere.
Fungus it is.
Fungus it is.
Fungus.
All right.
All right.
Fungus among us.
We'll take those guys can go back in
Okay.
the
There's the
boxes
pokey
there.
ones.
And then
Is
we'll,
that the toss to see who's going to eat our brains?
yes, we're gonna have our start inhaling fungus.
What?
Oh, I need it came with a little assembly required on one of them, unfortunately. But it looked like a clean break, so it looks like just some crazy glue would fix that problem.
Okay.
So I'm not too heartbroken over that.
Oh, huh.
This is
You can stay there.
I don't know when my trip's on today.
Well, I mean, it just shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, and it won't be.
All right.
Alright.
Once they're wired out and mapped out for the other, in the other studio, we won't have to worry about it.
Well, and even when we lay these out for tomorrow, they won't turn into a rat's nest. We can lay them clean. The problem is they've been in and
True.
out. These have moved. I will prevent that from happening tomorrow, but it is a rat's nest for today, and it does need to be cleaned. Because I have already almost broken equipment just moving around. So. So we need to pick who we're going to be.
Yes. So let's finish getting. Yeah, we can start
I'm
in.
trying to do things at a turn. I'm just asking.
No, that is. We can get those, and then we can start eliminating things we don't need off of the table here and give ourselves some space.
That sound you might want to mute because it's copyrighted,
Oh,
and we can't have it on stream.
sorry. It is muted. I was up to check my phone.
It's funny the things you have to start thinking about.
I totally, until I heard it, and then I heard it, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's going to be no
No.
mistaking that sound.
I wouldn't have thought about it. I have the Halloween ringer.
No idea.
Yeah, so,
Please don't sue me, Paramount.
right? Oh, please
I only have it
don't.
because I'm a fan.
Right, it's because we love you.
Okay, that's just box top. Here we have this. For references, those.
My air fryer has been popular since I brought it in.
Oh, it's gotten some good use.
Nice.
It is a cool device. It is a very cool little kitchen device.
And Stalkers are going
I
away.
recommend having one high.
That's cool. Okay, so let's get. Okay, we're gonna want this. We're gonna have players 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're not gonna have player 5. That's gonna end up going away. And we're gonna need the elevator. I don't know if the board is centered enough, but there is this oddball piece here for the elevator that is going to go on the side of the board. So I don't know.
It should be visible.
So this piece is actually, it's not going to go here. It's going to be like on the side because it's going to, it's okay.
And I can move this forward slightly if you want that to be more.
If it'll shift there.
It just cuts right here.
Okay,
So
if
we're
that's
totally
going to
good.
be an issue or not.
Not at all.
But
Not at all.
that's going to be a feature we're going to have to deal with for the elevator.
Yeah, nope, not at all. Awaken Realms. I can't find them on Facebook.
I'm sure they're there.
I know.
I'm pretty sure they're there.
So, the rest of the stuff that's here needs to be, I think, and I dislike these cables. So. Who knew there'd be so many cables to setting up a studio? Things they don't tell you. Everything else is necessary, I think.
We do need that. We're gonna get those. We're gonna get those. Okay. Those two pieces. And then we should be ready to go.
He's a cool boy.
I don't know how many dead people are going to be, but there's not many dead people to start off. So. Well, actually, we don't have a need for this, actually. I'm going to sit here, I think. Alrighty.
I wasn't sure which one you would want to drink.
Well, you wanted to try the pineapple one, so I saved it out. I do want to try it. I don't think I'll like it, but I do want to try it.
Yeah, totally.
There's some
That's nice.
yeah, not bad. There's some unfortunate people in here, Joe.
Yeah. So basically, the survivor and the lab rat are the holdovers from the Nemesis crew. So some time has passed since when the survivors get off of the ship, and they've been on this in the base there. And they're going to start in different spots depending on who you are.
I've got like 3 that I wouldn't mind playing, so I don't mind letting other folks pick first.
Okay. There's going to be...
Oh, look at the little Land Rover.
Oh my gosh. This is too cute.
I'm betting that's our escape buggy.
It is. You take that over to... so you've got this, and one of the ways to escape is when that door to the exterior bunker is opened, you can take the Land Rover to that exterior bunker. Once you're there, you're safe.
Okay. You
Probably.
know what a lockdown?
Most in most of these games, you're probably safe.
Probably.
Mostly. So yeah, you can take
bunker tech doesn't guarantee.
bunker tech doesn't guarantee safety. So
No
it is a way of
express or
escaping.
implied.
It's a way to escape to get away from the aliens. But there's a check at the end of the game. One additional check at the end of the game you have to go through. So we're gonna go through that too. Can we shift that green chair around? I guess I'm gonna sit here between these two lights.
Okay.
Sorry. I think this will be okay. Yes. Okay. We need. You're gonna go there. I want this.
I'm going to go ahead and move this to this side of the corner. And I'll sit here.
Okay. Is Eric gonna sit there?
Eric has stationed himself over here, but we can maneuver however we need to maneuver.
You guys go and pick a spot and I'll just fill in.
Well, if I sit here and you sit there, Eric, then we can all kind of reach.
Okay.
Or Joe, I don't know if you want to move. You want to be more where there's pieces.
Well, we're going to have to manage those pieces over there too. So.
Yeah. I can shift towards Joe more if needed. So
Just because I was thinking Eric can either fill in over here. I don't know if you want more access to more table real estate over there.
and we can get once we're
Well, then
set
we're-
up and ready to go, we'll have
Then we can move our pieces, but we have to walk around the table to get to the cards we need.
yeah, we might need
That's okay. I mean, we can.
If I scoot over a little bit and Eric is still there, then maybe we can all. Eric can hand us the cards we need. We can move his figure.
Okay.
Just because the table we picked for this is, it's nice to have the real estate.
Eric, do you
for
want to sit on that
pieces.
side?
Well, doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm just thinking, just for ease of reach and reaching, everything on the table.
Okay. Wherever you want me to be.
Okay.
I can sit there, I guess. I'm surprised I didn't do this before. Okay.
those are out. Those are out. These are not used. These are solo objectives. These are contamination cards. Not used. Oh no, these are the potential ones. Use. They have a lot of good reference material.
The
That we're
artwork on
going-
everything is stunning.
They're amazing.
I know.
I really like
The mat
immersion that
is
they have.
so nice. Like really, really, really top quality.
And the fact that
The
they
printing on it is so clear. The thickness of it, it's so smooth.
This is
I mean,
nice.
pieces just slide
Even the,
across it.
They have a regular cardboard,
Game board.
playboard
Mm-hmm.
as well. Yeah, but this was just a nice option.
yeah, it's cool that they made this mat option.
Yeah. So there's different sides of it, it looks like.
Yes, depending on, there are two versions of that map you can play with.
So the figure, the Land Rover figure, is a Kickstarter replacement for this piece, correct?
It is, yes.
Okay, for the tile.
It is. Yeah, the
Just like the
tile,
space-
the door, the space cat, a lot
That
of it.
raccoon
The,
looking cat. Yeah.
just neat little extras.
Did you guys look at these already?
Yeah, there's like 3 that I wouldn't mind playing, so I didn't mind letting other folks
Oh,
pick
I haven't
first.
looked at them.
So,
You want to pick the janitor?
He's on my list.
Oh man.
I've saved a
Is
starship with a
there
plunger.
is
don't-
there a difference between these and the ones we've played before?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
They are all different.
Sentry. Okay. Survivor.
Very cool. Been waiting for this one. This is going to be fun to play.
This one will be, yes.
Nemesis is a great game. We've enjoyed that one several
I
times.
just love the thematics of it. It's just, it plays like a movie. Oh, Rita.
You?
Dice.
What? My favorite. Ow.
Dice.
Oh.
Look, one has cheese on it.
One does have cheese on it.
That's
It's
for
for
dice and whatever.
That's how you call the space kitty.
yes.
The awesome space.
The other side of this map has a lot of terrain that you can play on, more terrain on the surface. And so there's hazards that can happen on the surface, and that's where this die comes into play. But since we're not playing with that side, this one we're not going to use.
Is that a random
cheese.
cheesierite strike?
It does. It has actually negative cards that you pull when you have this little Mars surface icon. So all sorts of nasty things can happen.
I think it was a meteorite con queso.
All right, guys.
I think I'm going to be the xenobiologist.
Xenobiologist. Okay.
Is that cool with everybody?
That's cool.
Yeah, I usually pick something that rounds out the group anyway, so
Yeah. So.
that one looks pretty cool. I was thinking about it too.
Okay.
The other thing that they do that's very nice is if you do the random picking of the characters, they do have a nice card which tells you their sort of equivalent from the previous games.
I think.
Okay, so you have your pick?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And then everybody else kind of pick. Like I said, I usually like to pick out the.
Okay, so Rita's going to be the xenobiologist. Okay.
Very important.
I don't know which one goes to it.
And I believe she has the white.
It's right to here.
She's like the scientist.
Unplug it, unplug it.
I just don't know what happened. Because I was looking for it to,
This operation or setting is not available.
like, the audio's working fine, but the.
Hacker, sentry,
Oh, there we
survivor,
go.
lab rat,
Oh, man,
janitor.
I didn't see any of the things.
Kind of want to play the lab rat. I played this survivor when it was the solo game.
When it
Did pretty well. She's basically the soldier type. I'll be the lab rat.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right.
Well, I didn't realize that the camera froze,
Oh no.
but now it's moving. Sorry, guys. Have no idea why. Okay.
There's a blue.
Where's the other connection on it? Because it was frozen when I was doing it.
So I think I'm going to take the hacker.
The
Unless
hacker
somebody
looks
else is
cool.
really
It was
into the hacker, then I can take the sentry. I'm just usually not the gunner.
I'll go ahead and take the survivor then. That's our soldier.
the soldier. The other one that is a really good fighter too is there's another
I
character,
assumed him.
the sentry. So one of these two are very combat heavy.
Well, go ahead and show your lab rat to the camera.
Oh yeah. Bam.
That one's really cool.
And then once we get those figured, we can start clearing off the table for the stuff we're not going to use. That'll give us some good space.
Oh, which one's which? Which one to pick? They both look awesome.
Yes. And they both play very differently too.
Do they?
Obviously the cards that they have and what they start with and everything, so.
Although I'm leaning towards the survivor, I kind of like. I think the sentry would be a little better.
Sentry?
Yeah, let's do the sentry.
Okay.
Yay, sentry!
Awesome. Very cool.
Okay, sentry and hacker. I think that's the hacker. Which one's the sentry? Yeah, so that's the sentry. Sentry
Here's
is
your character, Reva.
blue.
Oh, sweet.
And then Joe is green.
I don't know why the camera would have frozen. I'm trying to make sure that it's still... Okay, good. It is.
Okay. So we have a green. For that, we have a blue. Another green.
There's
There's
mine.
blue. There is.
I don't know what these funky cubes are, but they look cool.
Oh, those are. Yes.
This cube.
Yes, he says.
This one doesn't look as detailed as the other ones. That's the sentry.
Oh, it does.
Those are called Germinators. They spread all the pollen around the base.
So now I'm going to take those out right away.
Yeah, if we can. But yeah, the mechanic behind this guy, and we'll see it, it's going to start spreading spores. The
Oh, no.
spores are going to turn
Oh, no.
into the Germinators. And then eventually they're going to be so overwhelming in a room, they're going to create mycelium, which are permanent, and they cannot be destroyed at a certain point. So,
Oh, jeez. Mm-hmm. All right. That's good to know.
so. Okay, we're done with those. We've got... We need to get Hacker for Joe. Sentry. The lab rat. Xenobiologist. No janitor, no survivor. Okay, done with those. Eric, do you want to take... This can go away altogether.
Okay.
Now I have the auto display showing so we can actually see what the heck the camera's focusing on. Twitch?
I do, but I need to see if I can get myself logged in.
Is it okay if I sit here with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Left that one for you. Swap it out with Joe's when he's not looking. That way you've got back support and Joe might be the one to go over backwards.
I don't know what it is about this one. It looks like it's firm, but then as soon as I sit it and go to lean back, your life flashes before your eyes.
No matter how
You
much.
go to die. You just die. You're dead. It's done.
No
You're done.
resistance.
Oh, this stuff is so amazingly gorgeous.
Joe, where are you setting up so I can work around?
This is where I was planning on sending to move. Right here. These are my cards, I assume, since they match the artwork.
The art, yes, hacker.
Hack the planet.
Hacker.
This is my hacktivist.
You are the xenobiologist, so those are your
Yes.
pieces. Here are your cards.
Okay. Oh, this stuff is so pretty.
Eric, there's the starting equipment for your guy.
The artwork is just amazing.
Oh, 5 ammo.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Bless you.
Oh.
Yeah, there's some cool ones. For sure.
This would be perfect for the Night Stalkers.
Well, make it work for mushrooms, man.
Yes.
This is what he has. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Right there. Yes. Amazing.
Yep. I could do all kinds of neat stuff with that one. No slime, no fire. I can
So this
walk
is
outside.
nice.
Hey, you can't beat that.
Oh, the suit. Yes. Yes,
I'm
yes.
gonna turn this feed so it's like this, so that you guys can see.
All right. Okay. Here's the weapon.
There you go. Does that make it easier for you guys to see?
Oh, yeah. You can see that very well.
And this is live real time. So as soon as you put your hand up there, it automatically shows you here, and there's a 10-second delay to the stream.
Okay.
So that way it's easy to see like where, if you hold something up, where it is.
So I got some hope sticks, just a small bag.
I have some of the Southwestern ones in my office.
Oh, nice. Oh, honey mustard. And original. Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. Just the graphics for these things. I mean, it's amazing how beautiful this is. And then, of course, I mean, come on. What? This is actually the best box in the whole game with the best pieces. Because
That's the guy just for
kitties! Yeah.
That's the Space Kitties.
The Space Kitties. See? The best. Come on. Space Kitties. Best box in the whole one. So this version is by Adam Kwapinski, like this lockdown version.
Yes.
Okay, and then the original game by Awaken Realms is a conglomerate of different artists? Or?
Well, they have their own team of artists in that studio for Awaken Realms.
Right.
So,
But
and Adam also did the first one. The came up concept. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure.
Adam, I'm sure you'll never see this, but you're incredible.
Okay, there's reference material. I'm just going to hand you reference material.
Okay.
Here's 2 pieces. You're going to get a third one here in a minute. And then there's reference material for Joe. And Eric reference
Oh
material.
man, noise rolls again.
Yes.
Well.
All sorts of noise rules. Okay, it's not really going to matter too much, but I have player 1, 2, 3, and 4 here, and that's just going to matter potentially for what sort of missions you have. So, Reva, go ahead and pick. Eric, go for it.
Alrighty.
I'm going to pick one, and Joe's going to be that by default.
Okay.
All right. So I got player number 3.
I am player number 4.
Player number 4. There's number 4 for that.
Okay.
And your player 2, Eric. Yep. Thank you. Joe is number 1.
Okay.
I'm number 1.
He's number 1. Okay. Here's my deck. There's my deck. You'll need to shuffle your deck. I don't think it's really been shuffled for your play deck. Okay. A few more things to set up, and then we'll be ready to start, really.
Just keeping the brand name out of the way. Yep.
Okay.
We're going to take this.
Not many cards, Joe. I don't know about that.
We should have 10.
It's not many.
We all have 10. We all don't have very many then.
Okay.
That's not like Awaken Realms
Yeah.
would take damage each time each the shot.
Oh god, yeah. Same company though, so you never know.
Oh, okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense why this is so beautifully done. That's another
Yeah.
game that in the new studio, I mean, the replayability of it is, I don't know, maybe we'll have to walk other people through playing a version of it, because the beauty of that game in the new studio with the lighting and the top down, like that would have been unbelievable to film as a series.
Yes. Yes.
You know, but I'm glad we didn't though, because anybody watching it, it would have ruined the.
It would have ruined it for them.
Yeah, this is a different kind of game, so it's kind of fun to play.
Yeah, this one has replayability
Yeah.
for sure. The other one,
You
not
just
so
have, you know,
much.
hacker stuff on you.
Hacker stuff.
Hacker stuff.
I am electronically enhanced.
Enhance. And I am purple.
This is such an easy setup. The camera on this EV, I don't even have the dead cat on it, and it's amazing. Or the audio for the EV.
Joe, go ahead and pick. Well, here, how about this? These are the weaknesses for the Chithrids. They all have weaknesses. Go ahead and pick one.
Oh, there's weaknesses for them?
Yes.
I was going to say pass.
You go ahead and pick one.
Pick the
Just
best
pick one.
weakness ever.
Yep. We're not going to look at them yet.
Oh, kidding. Oh. I didn't actually read it. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
That one. Okay.
Oh, the weakness for the critters.
The weakness for the critters. So we got the first
Yes.
one is available.
Okay.
So, define for me bonus flammable. That's not what it says. It's wishful
And
thinking.
actually, can I
Bonus
can I you
flammable.
just set this up?
Oh yeah, certainly.
Oh my god. Please don't slide. Everything.
Oh, that's fixable. It is fixable. Okay, Eric, here's.
This is kind of their card setup. The bad guys.
That's the board for these disgusting things,
What are
right?
these for?
Yes.
It is. So basically, it shows the queen and her
Oh,
tendrils,
just knocked you over.
and
I'm so
all of
sorry.
her. So that's the queen, and those are all of her
Appendage.
appendages
Right.
that are going to
So-
try to come out and.
That's
Hook
how you
us.
set up the queen and all of her little disgusting things that come after you.
Phalanges.
Yeah. Oh, phalanges. Yeah.
This can go away.
Phalanges.
Need this
Gross.
stuff?
That
pokey
can
ones.
also go away.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can put this down. It can go. Bam.
Cool.
So if this is on camera, are my knees on camera? Do I need to be careful not to,
No.
like scratch myself right now?
Or say that on camera. Yeah.
Joe, you're player one. That's gonna be for
No,
you for
just
a time.
right here. Like this isn't.
Just checking.
Mm-hmm.
Just checking.
Oh, it's mature. I'm just saying.
All right, guys. I'm gonna try to explain as best as I can, and hopefully I don't miss any of the rules.
We will learn while moving.
Hooray! So Eric, let's place the rooms on the board.
Okay.
So there are
All the ones.
there are these 3 spaces also. So in this one, there's a couple spaces that already start on the board that we know.
Generically. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we have the backup power supply.
Okay.
And that's going to help keep the power on in the base. Power on in the base is a huge deal. And there's 4 sections of power. There's each floor. So the surface, the first and second floor here, and then the elevator has its own power supply also. And that's going to be denoted by these markers here.
Oh, so this is a side sort of strata map. This
It
is
is.
surface area, first subterranean floor, second subterranean floor.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, and then the elevator will go in
Elevator.
between. So, power supply. So as the time moves on, power is going to keep sinking. Floors are going to be shut off from power. We can go back to that to help restore power to floors, or shift where power on what floors are active and
Okay.
what's not.
Okay.
There is the repository, and that starts up here. That's where most of the staff of the Mars base start. So they're going to start up here. So that's going to be Riva, Joe, Eric. You guys are all going to start in the repository. And the cool thing about this one is this lets you craft items for 1 less object. Because normally you have to combine 2 to make the 1 object. That one, you only need 1 out of the 2 components
To make an object.
to make an object.
That's cool.
Ooh,
So that's super useful.
Okay.
Survivors of the Nemesis go into the isolation room, which is down here. So that'll be me. I am all by myself
Okay.
in the isolation room. So,
Because you're full of larvae.
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I'm full
awesome.
of contamination.
Yay, full of contamination.
So, yeah, we don't know what's wrong with me. But
It's
anyway.
like all of 2020 and 2021.
We know that already.
So those are the known spaces. There's also this center space here.
This thing.
Yes, that is also another space you can go to. So
How do you know which ones you're putting out where?
they have they're supposed to be. So you have tiles numbered ones, and then you have
Oh, I
number
wasn't even
twos.
looking at the thing in the middle. Just kidding.
Number 2 spaces. So all of the number 1 rooms will be in play,
And we have no idea how we're putting them out. They're just generic.
and then we won't use all of the number 2. So not all
Got
number
it.
2 spaces will be in play, or number 2 rooms will be in play.
Okay. Oh, there's so many rooms.
Guess we won't be using that one.
I think this is a larger map, to be honest.
This is what?
I think this is a larger map. I think there are more total rooms than there are in the Nemesis. I haven't counted, but I'm just guessing.
And then we have to do the same thing with this one where we show up and flip them over.
Yes, and we're going to have those room tiles. Here we go. These.
Those are extra 2s right there.
Those are bonus. Yes, there should be 2 bonus 2s that we don't use.
We never used that one.
Oh, is that another bonus 2?
So we're missing one?
Are we? Oh.
2, 2, 2.
Oh.
No.
Nope. Then, all right. That's that. those rooms.
We could have optional, like if we don't like the two we have, we can get a different two.
So on these guys also, we need to put these on top of the rooms for the random event that happens when we explore.
All of the 1s, 2s, anywhere?
1s and 2s. All of the undiscovered rooms.
Okay.
There's more here.
Okay.
There's more. There's more. And not all of these are going to be used either.
Oh,
but these are similar or generally the same as
and
types of results as the previous Nemesis 2.
Undiscovered ones, correct?
Yeah, all the undiscovered rooms. So, is that all of them? Perfect. We'll take these back.
Oh, looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Splendid.
Okay.
Okay. So you should have your weapons, items. Joe, you've got your...
Predictable movements. Blank combat results against stink horns are treated as a single hit instead.
Yeah. So they're easier to hit. That's
so
nice.
It's not phalanges coming after us.
They're stink horns.
It's
That's
a
awesome.
stink horn.
Your name
That's
is Stink
awesome.
Horns.
That's not a sting horn? No, it says stink horn.
S-T-I-N-K.
Okay.
Stink.
I want to be on record as being against this altogether. This is just... My objections are starting now.
All right. So, oh yes, and we also have Eric. We have these, the cargos. So,
I don't know. I don't know why it's not being accurate.
we're just gonna.
Because there's at least 2
Oh,
of
is that
us,
where they go?
and I think
Yeah, they go in those spaces, and
think
there's one
Eric
we don't
has his
use.
phone on too. Right?
Yeah, he does. That's funny.
Okay.
It's showing we have one viewer.
And I show too.
It's okay. I don't know how it keeps track of it. I don't. It makes sense if it doesn't count the Mythical family account. That makes sense, I guess, but
Or the Streamlabs bot.
yeah. But I'm connected and it shows one to me. And I'm like,
Awesome.
we'll figure that out eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so we have our player goals, and so we're going to be just like the other one. We're all going to start out with a personal objective and a corporate objective.
Oh.
And just like in the previous one, when there is one major event in the game, when the aliens first appear, you have to pick which one is going to be your objective for the remainder of the game. So, I guess we can... I haven't really looked at these. These can all be mixed up. Everybody take one of these and pass it around, and then we'll get rid of the ones that aren't used. I'll take this one.
Just any.
Yeah, pick one at random.
Take the one I dropped, I guess. That's what I'll do.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Let's go through this one.
We do get to look at these eyes.
Yeah, look at your own.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I believe I did take out all 5 player ones. That's weird. One of his player. So those should be away. Okay. So, everybody's goal is twofold. They need to fulfill their objective, and they need to survive. So, you can survive in one of 3 ways. You can lock your character in the isolation room, which is down there, and the isolation room becomes active once we get down to this white portion of the time track.
Okay.
Another alternative is if somebody dies, that room becomes active also.
Okay.
And it will hold one person.
Oh, wow.
So it's a panic pod.
It's a
more than
panic pod.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's that. Second option to survive is use one of the cargo sending system pods to evacuate.
Launch out as cargo.
Yes.
Nice.
So
Okay.
this is the schedule for the CSS, the cargo sending system.
Okay.
It goes through all there. There is guaranteed on the board, there's sending system A. There is a B and a C, but they're not guaranteed to be on the map, but they may be over here. You can put yourself in here. If once you find the room for that sending system, you can put yourself in that room for free. And once it's time for the sending system, it triggers at the start of the event phase, and it'll launch off. If you're in the correct one, you get kicked out with a serious wound. So don't be sure it's going to be launching the correct pod at the correct time. Otherwise, you're going to get kicked out and you're going to be hurt.
Okay.
So there are ways to find out what is launching when.
Okay.
But at the beginning, they are hidden.
Whose deck of cards is that?
That is the computer system.
Got
So
it.
that has its own mechanic as well.
Nice.
The third way to get out is the bunker, which is on the surface away from the main base. So you can come up to this room. You can, for 2 cards when you're in here, you can roll your dice, make sure no aliens are around or anything, and you take that rover to the bunker and you get in. If somebody else wants to use the bunker, anybody can use the bunker. We can all get into the bunker. We just have to get there. We have to get the buggy to come back to us, to the door, via remote control or some other way.
So we don't even know how to do that yet.
So the hacker has a lot of ways to do that. There's a computer system in order to recall the rover.
Man, he's going to just leave all of us stranded.
I have things to do while I'm here.
So
I can't just leave.
the first person's pretty much guaranteed because they have the rover, they can get over there. You also, if you have, like an environmental suit or something, or a spacesuit, you can walk it.
Oh, cool.
And you're good. There's ways to make that too.
Giant.
We can make them.
Cool.
So those are the 3 ways to be safe.
Okay.
There are, so leaving the facility. One other thing to check for. Oh, yes. There is the contingency check. And it is for all the players. And so this is the contingency plan for the corporation for what to do with all the people who are on the base. And these are just kind of like the final orders. So it breaks down into a couple of different things. So one of these are all going to be in play, and one of them is going to be the actual contingency. So, for example, this one is going to be the contingency. We can never look at that one until the end of the game. That is what the corporation is going to do with all the people who are left in the base.
Oh, cool.
The things that they can do to us, and we have to figure it out as a group through process of elimination. We're each going to start with one, and it's going to be held to yourself. No one can ever look at it. You can tell what it is to other people. You can lie about it. You can say whatever you want to say about the contingency card you have. But, for example, mine is save all. So if this had to be if this was in the contingency space there, the corporation would save everybody.
Got it.
Okay. Another option is kill everybody who is in the cargo sending system. So anybody who used the cargo sending system to launch out into space or launch out of the base, they have orders to kill all those people.
Got it.
So you're out. Another one is kill all in the isolation room. So if you hunker down in the isolation room thinking you'd be completely safe, if you're in there, you're dead.
So the 3 methods of exit aren't necessarily safe.
Correct. The next one is...
That is awful.
Yeah. Kill all who did not send the signal. So, if you didn't send the signal, they're going to eliminate you at the end of the game.
Awesome.
So be good friends with the dispatcher.
There's a second one for that one. This one is kill all who have a knowledge of 4 or less. So in this game, knowledge of the aliens plays a big part. And the starting survivors in the base start with a knowledge base of just 1.
Mm-hmm.
And there are ways to get more knowledge throughout the base, either discovering where the nest is, going to the lab and studying things. There are ways to up your knowledge.
Okay. Well, yeah, we should probably look at that and shuffle them again.
And then, yes, we will. And then, so there's a couple of duplicates. There is handy reference that we all have that have those on it. So we're going to mix those up. One of them is going to be the actual contingency. We each get 1, and all the rest of them that are not picked go in here.
Okay.
And there is a way to look at those. And then grab them for yourself so you can keep them.
Okay. Weird.
Just means that our corporate oppressors cannot be trusted.
Exactly.
So, this is the corporate directive in place for our safety, and
Of course, for our safety.
Here, that one's yours. The rest of them go there. And there's a way to get at these and bring them to our board. So we can try to share collectively to find out, okay, with our combined knowledge, we can deduce that this is what the corporation's going to do with the base.
So we share what we got.
You can lie about what you have, you can share what you have, but you can never show what you have. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's the only thing, is you cannot show it to other people. There are ways on the board and things when you're looking about that you can forcibly peek at another person's, but they can't voluntarily show you what they have. Okay. So those are the contingencies. That's a contingency plan. And also on the help card, which is really nice, it shows how many of each of those possibilities there are. Mm-hmm. And then it also shows on the cargo sending system how many of each are possibly there in that row there as well. So, okay. We've got that in hand. So, without further delay, I think we're about ready to get things on the roll. Let's make sure there's nothing else. There's one more thing we have got to do with power before we move on. And then we'll be set to go. We've got the Chithra Laboratory, 5 eggs, the Germinators. Can you grab me my Gigantor jug of water when you come back to?
He says Giganto, he means Giganto.
I like my water. All right. All right, and we're just going to start playing by doing. And in this scenario, all of the tokens, all of the creature tokens go into the bag.
What card?
No, you just asked him does he have his arm card?
no, well, then it auto-corrected me from ATM because my phone's too stupid to know what ATM is, I guess.
The new doors are really cool.
Ooh.
They actually, you can separate it, so if it gets damaged or destroyed, you pull that off, and it stays in there and it just shows that it's damaged.
Okay.
And it can't be closed again.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Those are cool.
Those are neat. I do like those. Okay. I'm all by myself. Okay. Okay, I need to see what my objectives are. Okay. I can do that. I can do that. All right, guys. Power. So we're going to randomly put these power 1, 2, 3, and 4 into the spots here. So we can just, I guess we can just randomly put different ones in different spots.
Thank you for doing that.
Okay. There's that, and number 1 and 2 should be on their side. Number 1 and number 2. Oh, good. Okay, so it's to shuffle and randomly place the power tokens in the 3 sections.
He did. It said he said.
I didn't see it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Tokens with 3 and 4 are red side. Okay. I think we have everything. Perfect. Okay, so play is going to be so at the beginning of your turn, at the beginning of the player phases, we're going to draw up to our hand limit, which is 5 cards. The people in the isolation room down there get a 1 bonus card. Because we're super special.
Because you have a lot of time to yourself.
We do. We also, nobody who starts down there, we don't start with weapons. We don't start with any items or anything else. Where
You have a hellacious looking weapon next to you.
I don't. I'm ducking down next to a piece of
got it.
girder or
I was like, that's
pipe
like
or something.
I started with stuff.
Yes.
like you took that gun from Optimus Prime.
That's funny. Okay.
My little stinger thing is
Oh yeah,
the arm.
That arm is rad. You do a lot with that arm. That has some pretty cool mechanics.
It says uses 3 of 3 though.
Oh yeah, so you need if you have ammo, we need to give you these red little pips.
Oh, that's right.
And for ammo and such.
Oh,
so
got
take
it. So
take
3?
those. Mm-hmm. So Joe, do you have a weapon? You get 3 ammo for that. And then you've got
5.
So the number
You
of
have 5?
ammo is the uses.
yes. There are ways to
Got it.
resupply it. It should
Okay.
tell you. Okay. And so it's going to start with player 1 and go clockwise.
Okay. These are the CSS tokens.
Those are the no. This is a CSS token, cargo
Oh.
sending system.
Okay.
That's the contingency plan.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So
Oh, Riva, you had a question about the computer. Those cards. When we get to a room
Okay.
that has, because from the last Nemesis, there were rooms with computer systems in it, right? It had a little computer icon.
Yes.
If you are on a floor that has the little computer symbol and it has power, you can use the computer to do
Those things. Okay.
to do those things, and they do some awfully cool things. Like this one, for example, it is you get your pick, open and close one chosen door, peek at a chosen CSS token,
Okay.
or move the rover.
Got it.
So once you use that card, you flip it face down, it goes to the bottom, you put the next one face up, and those are the options for the next person who uses the computer. There is one hazard card in that deck, and if it comes to the front after you use it, you resolve it immediately, and then shuffle that deck and start again.
Okay.
So yes, that's an important piece.
So what is the power situation to start with?
So the power situation when we started off is the 4 floors got mixed together. They were put out at random, and there's power on. So this is priority 1, priority 2, 3, and 4. So we'll go in that order. So that's the order things are going to shut off as well. So if the lights go out, the priority 2 is going to go out, and left with priority 1, and then if the lights keep going out, then the priority 1 will get shut down.
That's amazing. So we're in the dark, and the first subterranean floor is the lowest priority.
Yes. So you guys have power. You're on the surface. You guys have power here. This one has power. Elevator doesn't work.
Okay.
I thought I was seeing the division separately.
Yeah, here. So you guys up here you're lit up. So
We're
you're
still
good
on
there.
the surface, though. Okay.
You're on the surface, but yeah, you're right there. So there's that one. On the time track, you can see here if the backup power supply, once that's hit, it's going to turn to the powered side. As it moves along, if we don't hit it, it's going to stay on the unpowered side. And so every time it passes one of these red ones, if it's red, one more floor is going to go unpowered and it's going to shut down. Another one's going to shut down and keep going.
So we have to flip that to blue.
If you flip it to blue, it's only going to go, power's only going to go down when it hits one of these blue thresholds.
So we want to flip it before it hits a blue one?
That's ideal.
Okay.
Otherwise, we have to go back to that room and trigger it again and again and again if we want to get
How do you
power
flip
back.
it?
So through the backup power supply, lets us change it from the red side to the blue
We have
side.
to go all the way down to that room. Oh my.
We have to get to that room
That's
in order
an
to
awful
turn
lot
it
of
back
running.
on.
Okay.
So that'll turn it back on. And that allows us to turn power back on.
Which, if the elevator's not working, we can't get to level 2.
You can get to this elevator zone here, and you can take the stairs
Okay.
all the way down here. And there's also these back steps.
Got it. Very cool.
So, also, the other thing is these steps are always considered to be dark. They're never powered.
Oh, super. So, things.
So things can happen.
Yeah.
That's where the stinkhorns get you.
And you
So the stairs are not your home.
stairs are not your
Okay,
home
do
in
you
this
hear
game.
that, Nemesis or Awaken? The stairs are not our home in this game.
In this game, no.
Not in this game.
Not in this game.
So when you're in the dark, we all remember these ones from the last game.
Yep.
So you use the
Awful.
red ones.
Yes.
Same deal. If you are in a place with power, it's bright light, you can see everything, you're going to use these advantage dice
Oh.
instead.
Okay.
So it has a lot of the same symbols as the other ones.
Okay.
Some of the new ones have the little card symbol here, 1. So this one would be 1 auto hit, and then if you discard 1 card, you would get a second hit.
Okay.
That's just 2 automatic hits, and there's one where it says this one, if you want to discard a card, you can get a hit.
Got it.
So
How many cards did we draw?
you draw 5. My person being way down there, if you start your turn in the isolation room, you get a bonus,
Okay.
1 card. And then my OCD is going to turn that around.
I left it because I was wondering when you were going to see that. And how do we get knowledge?
Study.
Books.
Okay.
No.
Dude, I'm still in school and I don't have knowledge. So
We have to study the stinkhorns.
I don't want to study stinkhorns. Thank you.
There are several rooms in the base
Right?
that allow you to get knowledge. Let's see here. There is an archive that allows you to get knowledge,
Which we have to hope we have, right?
which is a guaranteed room.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah, it just, you use it, you may perform this action only if your knowledge token is inactive.
Got it.
All of our knowledge tokens are inactive to begin with.
Got it.
You research that you gain 2 knowledge and you flip your knowledge to the active side. There's also a thing here, you can see these thresholds, so knowledge 3 and a knowledge 5. You cannot take advantage of their disadvantages until you have a certain knowledge of the alien.
Okay.
So,
You got to get to know the stinkhorn.
to kill this thing.
Whoever at Awaken Realms got that name past committee, kudos to you. I want to shake your hand.
The stinkhorns, yeah. For real.
I know there's more ways to get knowledge.
It's awesome. It's just the puns are going to be relentless. I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah, I'll look them up, but I know there are more ways to get it because you can get up to an knowledge of 8. But yes,
And that's where you need to be to take advantage of their third weakness.
you need to get to a knowledge of 8.
You must be all-knowing.
So, in order to activate these, you either have to analyze an object, which is either a dead crewmate,
Seuss Pickle.
the eggs, or a carcass of an intruder.
Right.
So, and once that's done, the token will go on the space, and that'll flip, and so we'll know what's there.
But to be able to take advantage of all 3 weaknesses,
You have to be
you must be
knowledge-
intimately familiar with the Stinkor.
Oh man. Okay.
It's going to be relentless. I'm sorry. that name is just grade A. Like I said, whoever got that past committee over there at Awaken
Oh,
Realms,
I love it.
hats off to you. That is hilarious.
Okay. So, on your turn, Joe, we drew up to the 5 cards.
Jason.
We're going to perform actions. So you take 2 actions on your turn, and then it's going to go to the next person.
And then it's either move or play a card, right? And then I have to play a card to move.
You have to, yes, your basic
the other game?
actions are on your player sheet there. So, yeah, movement is 1 card. And then you also do have the careful movement, which is 2 cards, and you get to decide where the noise goes.
Your basic. Oh, duh.
I have all of these cards here. None of them are telling me that.
So
You've got-
this symbol here
Doop-a-doop.
constantly says 0. Does it matter?
Oh, so if you have the card in hand,
Yeah.
so if it says 0 on that card, all you do is play the card, and you don't need to do any extra cards on top of that.
Got it.
If there is a number 1 or a 2 on that, you play the card plus additional cards in order
Okay.
to attack.
Got it.
All right. I'm going to start off nice and careful. We'll go ahead and move carefully. We need to get downstairs, right? Which means
So-
we've got to get over here and down these stairs, or over here and down these stairs.
So remember what your overall goal is
Yeah.
from your objectives.
Yes.
And then we also need to find out, so we can kind of share if we, for the contingency plan, because we all have an idea of what's there. If we want to share those at any point, we can at least tell other people what we have.
So I'm just gonna tell you, like, from my perspective as a xenobiologist, anything in the isolation room, I want eradicated
Okay.
because it's just contaminated, and there's nothing that I can do to uncontaminate it
Okay.
at this point.
So, well, I know they don't care for mine. Well, at least I have an idea that if people with very little knowledge of the creature, they're okay with. So, oh no, they want to this one. Yeah, I know that they're. I can rule out as far as mine. What am I trying to say? If they're people with low knowledge, they want to wipe out. That's what mine
They're not-
says.
yeah,
so
they're not useful.
that's
They're
we
not
can rule
useful.
that part out.
Okay.
We can rule that out.
Got it.
So because that's the only one that matters. That's on the contingency. So we're just ruling out what they're going to do. But be sure to keep yours hidden, Reba.
I'm busy. I'll share later.
Oh, okay, great.
Busy, huh? Okay.
So Joe, what do you have plans for?
I'm
So I can try to make my way to the power and turn that back on, and get that since I'm already down there, all by myself.
Okay. You sure you want to be all by yourself?
I don't have much choice unless you're going to hoof it all the way down there.
I would just assume you don't want to be.
I would rather not be, but
Oh, there's more feet making noise up here. All right, well
True
then, let's just start seeing what we have.
there is another benefit to having a lit sector. When it gets around to noise, there's a part in the event phase for noise removal
Okay.
where if it's in a lit section and there's noise markers not next to any other player character, they go away.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I got to go down these dark stairs though. We need to start flipping over rooms and seeing. What
We need to start looking through.
I'm gonna make my way over to here and start seeing what we've got.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move carefully that way.
Into the stairs.
I'm the cyborg here. That's one, right?
That is, yeah. So that's just one discard.
And I spent the cards to move carefully.
Okay, so you get to place where the noise goes.
Are we sure it happens at all?
Yes, it will happen.
I thought we had to roll for that.
Well, if it's moving carefully in this one, you place exactly where the noise goes.
All right.
Oh, so it always happens? We don't get to roll for it?
If you're moving carefully.
Oh, Lord. I thought we could somehow escape that.
Yeah, no.
If you roll the dice, you can roll nothing.
There's a possibility of
There's a
rolling
gamble.
nothing.
All right. So then where are you guys going to go? Because if I throw it in this corridor, it's in a lit space, but that's not going to be helpful if you guys
Right.
don't move.
Yeah. So
This is for Sue's
there's
pickle.
that.
I'm showing her this.
So that's the technical corridor space. Where's the? There's the noise space for the technical corridor, and so yeah, there's those three options.
Okay.
Eat.
Well, I'm just going to say yes here.
Okay, no, I did not
Because
look
that's
at
the
it.
safest spot. It'll get rid of it. I don't know if anybody else is coming this direction. Hopefully.
If you move, if you you don't roll noise if you move into a space with another character.
That's fine. So that makes it safe for somebody to follow me if they want. All right, and then I don't have any cards I need to play. I could technically move again, right?
They adorable.
Yes, you need to do
do
two
that.
actions.
Some of the
Basically, yeah, you
creepier
need to do
ones.
two things, and then it goes to the next player.
I don't think I want to just charge into that room, though.
Ooh, this
I
one's
think I'm
hanging
going to play
upside
slow
down and
and
it's
steady to start with.
a total
So
alien. That's
we're
gross.
going to do that. First, careful move, burn the two cards for that, and I'm going to call my turn done.
Drink your space cards.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go.
For some reason, I thought I had to take the black box out of the thing in order to show them, and I didn't.
All right. Here we go. We're gonna go this way.
We should be using this Space Kitty. Because it's the fungal one,
Agreed.
right?
That is the fungal one. Yes. Oh, is the first player marker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we totally could. That'd be cute.
I don't want a fungus cat.
As long as cute as that
Let me
is.
see the...
I had a cute cat,
This one looks like a raccoon.
and you gave me Decay Blossom Kitty.
Yeah, see?
All right.
Decay Blossom Kitty.
So we are there. There was no noise, so nothing happened there. One thing that does happen in this one now when we're searching, spores will start out spreading through these corridors. So corridor 2. Oh no, that's it won't go through vents. So
See,
for the time being, for the
you're
time.
laughing, but I should have played the janitor.
I think you're right.
What
Also-
this place needs is bleach.
Lots of bleach.
Okay, so there's one move. I'm going to do my second turn. My second turn is going to be a search.
Oh man, that sucks that every time we move, there's guaranteed noise.
Unless you follow somebody.
Yeah, if you go into a room where somebody else is, you don't roll for noise.
Oh, that was the same as the other way.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to draw from green.
You found the cargo sending system B.
Yes, so we
Alright.
know cargo sending. A is a guarantee
Okay.
somewhere
And
because
so now we know that B is.
B is an option. That's a cool one. Okay, we're gonna take that one. Okay, those are my two actions, and it's now Eric.
Well, I could say that
So this is the process of elimination. So these are the ones that we know they're not going to act on.
okay.
So what do you have to say on that?
Well, basically, we can say that
Is the mat a Kickstarter?
The mat was an optional item.
Is that something that when people buy the game they can buy or no?
Can they still get it?
I want to say off of their website they should be able to still get that. Yeah.
The game does come with a cardboard board.
Yes, it does.
Right.
Yes, which is really very
Philippe
nice.
was just asking about what if the mat was one of the things that you have, or if it was a. So that's part of.
It was a Kickstarter add-on,
Yeah.
but it
Like the
may not
board.
be a Kickstarter
But-
exclusive.
The
Right.
I find that the actual cardboard one, it's really
It's
clear.
so gorgeous.
It is
Yeah.
nice. It is very nice.
So
very good stock.
yes, and it's like super well made.
And it is a little sharper because this is fabric.
Yeah.
This looks really good,
Yeah.
but if the
And
mat's
it's
going to be
super
a little
nice.
more sharp.
Okay, so this is my objective, right?
So all the contingencies that we have are the items we can rule out that the corporation's not going to do, because this is what the
Oh.
corporation will do.
Okay.
We are gaining the knowledge of what we can rule out
I see.
Yeah.
of the corporation.
Well-
So as a team, we're trying to rule out we're trying to find out exactly what they're doing by ruling all the other options out.
Well, I don't think they want to save us all, so I just want to say that.
All right then.
Yes. Okay. They don't want to save us all.
They don't have a benevolent contingency in place? That doesn't sound very corporate.
Sounds very corporate to me.
So you can rule out saving us all. Is that right?
We're assets.
So Eric, you're saying you're
Freeze
ruling
again?
out they're going to save us all.
Correct.
Okay. And I can
But is it
halfway rule out.
Like it shows up real time, but I don't know if it's streaming.
I think it's frozen because I'm not seeing any shifting light or anything.
No, I saw
I
something.
wonder if it weirds out when we make the ZB focus.
I can see
don't know.
shadows
Oh,
moving in
no,
Eric's
'cause
thing.
my hand just waved in front of me.
Okay, so it is working.
No, it should be okay.
And Philippe is complimenting the sharpness of our camera.
Okay,
It is a very cool camera, Philippe.
it is.
So yeah, I can halfway rule out that the knowledge for I can halfway rule out about the knowledge portion of it.
All right. So don't have to worry about knowledge.
Halfway, because there's two.
There's two of them. That's right.
Yeah, there are two of them. So we
It's
still
a common contingency, apparently.
apparently so.
Right. So
Take out all the people who,
they don't
or at
care
least
about-
are not assets who don't know enough.
and they don't care about saving everybody. So
So we know that. Okay.
So
I'll say,
there's-
as far as from what I can tell, they want to hear from us, but they don't care who they hear from. How's that?
okay, sounds good to me. All right. Well then, we better be sure that we find the single place. So we better start searching this place.
Send the signal. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Or they want to hear from us.
Oh, okay. Oh, they want to hear from. Okay.
Yeah.
They,
So we definitely.
so
need
we
to make
think
sure
they may
that
want to
we
hear
sit
from
them.
us. Okay. Okay. So there's two more contingencies there we might want to check. One thing I don't think we talked about is this center room here.
Right. We did not yet.
That's the alert room.
Okay.
And what that does is you can start the process to call the corporation early.
Oh, okay.
And what that does,
Why would we want to do that?
I don't know, maybe you're done and you want to get out.
Okay.
They'll come to save us.
They're coming to
yeah,
save us.
they're not gonna save us.
I've played
gotta
Half-Life.
tell
They
you.
come to save us.
I gotta tell you right now, either my blood sugar's low or I don't know what, because I'm not feeling like I'm very smart. So, like, I'm gonna hold off on that.
So, that'll start the procedure on that.
Okay.
You basically, it cuts whatever time you have left on the
That's
time check.
This room.
That's
here.
that room there.
Okay.
Let me see here. Or it allows you to look at a contingency. So you look at one of the
Oh.
contingencies that haven't been looked at yet,
Uh-huh.
and you pull it to your board. And it's now your knowledge.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, interesting.
So, Eric, it is your turn.
Alrighty. Well, I think we should search for the Well, that's the
signal
signal
room?
room is right there, right?
No, that does not send the signal.
It just calls the corporation.
Yeah, that is just the alert room. It'll alert the corporation to come early.
And what did you say? It cuts our time track down? By how much?
You have 2 options in the room.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it either... So what it does is it sets an alert. You basically cut the time track in half, put the alert token there, and that's how much time we have left in order to finish our business before the corporation comes. And carries out the contingency plan.
Okay. So it cuts it from the bottom.
It cuts it, yeah. So our track is going this way. It's going to cut it round down on the track, wherever it is.
Okay, so it halves what we have left. It doesn't...
It halves what we have left.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
You said there's 2 options. What's the
The
other
second option is to look at one of the unknown contingencies, and you pull it to your board,
Right.
and it
I
becomes
missed
your
it.
knowledge.
one? Okay, got it.
Yep.
That's sort of...
And then you got these reference ones. Whoever wants to look at them, these big reference sheets that has all the room.
Can I have one? Because I don't.
Because there's they aren't duplicates. They are both have separate information.
Kidding. Okay. Okay.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go ahead and move.
Okay, are you going with Joe?
No.
Is my phone off the...
I'm gonna just take a chance.
And Joe, remember, I think for the next go around on the you have to do 2 things. You can't just do one and pass. Otherwise, you pass your whole turn and you skip for the whole.
Okay.
So
Okay.
from there on out. Yeah, you have to do 2
Okay.
things.
I just didn't want to move into the room and then...
Have it on fire.
Yeah.
Right.
But you got to do that, okay.
But yeah.
So in 2, there'll be a.
So 2. Noise. That is sturdy. I like that.
This level up thing is very cool.
Yes, it does a very good job.
And I love the space that it gives us.
Yes, we have tokens underneath. We have stuff on the
This is
side
good
and
stuff.
everything. It works very well.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about spilling anything on the board or anything like that.
On the components itself, yeah. Oh, also, what is on... So when you flip that exploration marker, what's that number?
1.
Aha! So there are going to be spores here.
Oh,
Really?
no.
The only way to get rid of spores?
How do? Yeah.
Fire.
I was going to say
Burn it.
flamethrower.
Burn it. Napalm. Burn it. Burn it.
Germinators?
Ooh,
Now,
Germinators.
the Germinators, once a second spore token has to go on there, it evolves into a Germinator.
No.
And Germinators, they spread spores.
And
They don't hurt
is
anybody.
that what? Is that in a room? Is that in a corridor?
So the spores, Germinators, mycelium, they
that's
all
in
go
an
in
elevator.
rooms. This isn't one of the this is an elevator room. The shaft is like considered the elevator shaft is like on the side.
That side, yeah.
But this is the entryway for the elevator.
Cool. And how did that get there?
This is just examples.
It's
So
not
when
Okay.
when Eric explored, he pulled this over. He's going to get 2 items in the room, but it also says, it says 1 down corridor number 1 is where some spores spawn.
That's cool. No.
So as we
gross.
explore that, it's going to set the base level for the spores
Okay.
as we explore through.
Okay, so this place
Okay.
is broken. And it is the vent control room.
Vent control. Oh,
Cool.
vent things out into space.
Thing. So I can vent.
Space.
I can vent the spores out to space, right? Or no?
No, spores do not vent.
Man.
All right, I want to double check the science on that. If they
Spores-
spread through the hallways, shouldn't they get sucked out in a vacuum? They're
So
sticky
spores
spores.
are-
Yeah,
is
they're
the
maybe
problem.
they're sticky spores, which as a nurse, those words just never should go together.
And you rolled
Okay.
for. Oh, that's right. You
Ever.
rolled for noise there. Okay.
Yep.
So there's
Blech.
that.
So it's broken.
Okay.
For my second thing, I am
For your
going
second
to...
feet.
My second one. Oh, there's 2
You have 2 feet.
or 1.
There's
What
one
is-
item in there. Yes, it
type of
says
item?
yellow. Yellow items.
Oh, what to
I'm not
do,
gonna
what
wanna
to
go
do, what
anywhere.
to do.
You can just stay in the room. Nothing
Yeah,
will ever happen if you just stay put.
I just don't want to go anywhere.
Nothing ever happens to people who stay put.
I'm gonna
Right?
go ahead
By
and search
themselves.
the-
By
By
themselves.
themselves.
Technically,
What are you doing
there's
there?
2 directions you can go now.
I'm gonna play
you won't make
search.
noise, so
Oh, you're searching.
search.
Cool.
Find the stuff.
Oh, I forgot that you have to have that to do it.
Yes, you have to have that to do it.
So go ahead and take that.
Okay, wait a minute.
So
Where,
draw 2 cards.
where are my cards?
You should have an action draw pile and then a discard action pile.
And is that a white room?
This one is a yellow room.
Yellow room?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
This lap rat is very interesting. It's got some really gnarly cards.
Mine are... I'm